is $2 million in the hole. Now, all the money that they pulled in and all the stuff that they've done before, $2 million to them is really not that much. But to be $2 million in the hole is a lot. And they did it to themselves. They did it with Kamala Harris. They brought this onto themselves. Now, I saw one report where they were talking that Kamala Harris, or the DNC, they spent over $20 million for her 2024 campaign. And they have nothing to show for it. I wonder, did Kamala Harris even have a conversation with them after the fact and say, you know what, I'm sorry, I apologize for being such a terrible candidate. I apologize for this. I'm just kind of curious. Did she have a conversation with him? Did she talk to him at all? Did Kamala Harris go, yeah, you know, we could have done better. I could have done better. I personally, on a personal level, I don't think she did. I don't think Kamala Harris even cares. Just to be honest with you. But rumor has it, and y'all can let me know in the chat, rumor has it that Kamala Harris is still going full steam ahead with it. Rumor has it that Kamala Harris is going to go and run for the 2028. Now, I don't know if that's true. I kind of hope she does, because, you know, I guess she's thinking if AOC can do it, I can do it. So I wonder if AOC is going to jump in there too. I'm kind of guessing that AOC is she's going to build up the nerve to do it, because AOC and Mamdani, they are the leaders of the Democrat Party. They're the leaders. But to get back to the DNC, and we're going to talk about the socialism a little bit as well. But to get back to the DNC, now I saw this video last night, and it's pretty much been in circulation. But I want to share this video. This is with them on the Morning Joe, talking about the DNC being in the dirt. The DNC being completely in the dirt. And now that they're in the dirt, what are they going to do? How are they going to survive this? Are they going to be able to make it through? Are they going to be able to bring back all of the funds that they had? Now, before I play this clip, let me say this before I play it. You remember Elon Musk and Doge? Do you remember that? Elon Musk and Doge, what did they do? They found a whole bunch of wasteful spending that was taking place. I mean, a lot of wasteful spending. They found all this wasteful spending that was taking place, and sure enough, the DNC started going into the dirt about the money that they were bringing in. And then along with ActBlue, same thing. They found all of this dirt. They found all of this dirt with ActBlue. Same thing. And then all of a sudden, they started going into the dirt with their money, talking about the DNC. Now, I want to play this for you, and I want y'all to listen to what they say, okay? I want y'all to listen to what they say, because it's really important. Because this is happening in real time. And I've been wanting to see the collapse of the Democrat Party all of this time. And for them to talk about the Democrat Party this way is truly music to my ears. Now, that doesn't mean the reason why it's happening is good, because the socialists are taking advantage of the collapse of the Democrat Party, and they're reshaping the Democrat Party to be full-blown socialism. I've always believed that the Democrat Party has been full-blown demonic anyways, right? But now they're going full-blown with it. And I want y'all to hear
We
this.
move now from things making a lot of money to things losing a lot of money. At 7 minutes past the top of the hour, there is new reporting
This has to be
morning.
a DNC story.
On the
You see how he did that? He said, this has to be a DNC story. I mean, why does it have to be a DNC story, Joe? Why? I mean, because if it was the RNC, you would be celebrating. This is good news. Going into the midterms, the RNC doesn't have any money. They're in the hole going into the midterms. This is really good for the Democrat Party. This is what he would be saying. But he's not saying that. He's saying just the opposite.
dire financial situation for the Democratic National Committee, now less than 100 days until the midterm elections. The New York Times reports the Democratic Party is so short on cash that leaders are asking vendors not to send bills until after the midterm elections. The paper.
Wait a minute. So all of these vendors that have been working for the DNC, that has been doing different things for the DNC, they're asking for their payment. You know what else it makes me think about? It makes me think about the Obama garbage can library. A whole bunch of vendors did all of this work, and none of them have gotten paid for the most part. There's a whole bunch of vendors waiting to get paid from the Obama garbage can library. The Obamas opened up the garbage can library. They charged people to go into the garbage can library, and they still haven't paid the vendors. Here's the DNC essentially doing the same thing. Vendors have done jobs for the DNC, and the DNC is not paying them. They're telling them to wait until after the midterms. Do you think they're going to get paid? Do you think they're going to get paid? I don't think so.
First spoke to three people briefed on the move who called it a bookkeeping maneuver. The paper highlights a cash disparity between the two parties, noting that President Trump controls a $400 million super PAC. The Republican National Committee is sitting on nearly $130 million, while the DNC is $2 million in debt.
Yeah.
The news outlet Notice also has new reporting on the DNC putting its physical headquarters up for collateral last year in order to obtain a $15 million line of credit.
I mean, this is just
to
so
help
pathetic.
invest in.
Yes! Yes! I can only imagine right now if there's any trolls watching them like, how dare you, you sellout. How dare you be happy that the DNC is in trouble like this? How dare you? You ain't black. I'm like, and I'm not, now I think to myself, I'm not sure what my color has to do with this. Let me ask y'all a question. Let me ask you a question. I didn't ask anybody. Let me ask you a question. What has the DNC done for the American people? It's a legit question. What benefit do they bring to the American people? This is a good thing. I've been screaming for the last month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, a year and a half that I want the Democrat Party to just be a thing of the history. And we're going to continue to tell the truth about the Democrat Party. Keep the history there. I've mentioned this multiple times. Keep the history there so then that way we don't repeat the same history with the Democrat Party.
Off-year elections.
This is so pathetic.
The paper also reports that in a peak of frustration earlier this month, Martin threw his phone at the desk of a junior aide while upbraiding the person. The phone tossing incident resulted in a formal complaint to the DNC's HR department. None of the people the Times spoke to witnessed the encounter, and there was some dispute over how aggressively the phone was tossed.
See, that's the key. How aggressively was the phone tossed?
Are we really in the weeds this
How aggressively was the phone tossed? How aggressively? Okay, hold on. I got to go full screen on this. We'll come back to it. So, how aggressively did he do the phone toss? Was the phone toss like this? You know, was it like this? Or was it like this? Or was it like this? Or was it like that? They're mad, angry. Pick up the phone call and call Kamala Harris and say you want your money back. Not gonna happen.
As Mr. Martin was said to have thrown the phone at the desk rather than at the aide.
Okay.
Oh my God.
First of all, John Heilman.
Really?
I'm going to you because I know you saw Tropic Thunder. Who knew the DNC would pick Les Grossman as their as the head of their? As he is Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder, and not only that, I'm sorry, with the president's approval ratings at an all-time low, with the ballot test at an all-time high for Democrats, with Democratic candidates raising money. John Ossoff, I mean, good Lord, they're raising money left and right. But they still are at this huge disadvantage because Ken Martin is, get this, when Democrats should be doing better than ever, Ken Martin is mortgaging the DNC to be able to pay bills. I'll say that again. You have a DNC head that is mortgaging the building so he can take out a loan. And when he's not doing that, the New York Times reports that he's going full, and you never go full Les Grossman, but he's gone full Les Grossman, throwing the phone at the desk.
You don't want to go full Les Grossman.
Hey.
I mean, come on. Look, this is good news. And the fact, you know, and the reason why MSDNC is even talking about this story is because they need to try to reverse it. They want this to be reversed. They're not happy about it at all. I know they're kind of joking, you know, talking about Rick Grossman. I don't think I've ever seen that movie, if it's a movie, what they're talking about. But they're on here. You know that they're angry about this. There's been one report where it's talking about how the RNC is around 116, 120 million in the surplus. 116 million surplus. Not to say 16 million. I don't remember. Give or take a few million. But they're in a surplus over $100 million. The DNC is negative $2 million. And people want their money, and they're more likely not going to get their money. Let me ask y'all a question. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that the DNC is going to pay these people after the midterm election? Now, the only reason why I believe that the DNC is telling their vendors that they owe all of this money to wait until after the midterm election is because they get in there. If they get the House and if they get the Senate, guess what's going to happen? They're going to impeach President Trump. They'll go ahead and do articles of impeachment of J.D. Vance, and then they'll go ahead and put Hakeem Joffrey. They'll put Hakeem Joffrey there as the president because they've already VP'd all of them. Then they'll do this is okay. Look, this is for educational purposes. You know, this is just my opinion, my theory on this. Okay, just to be clear. I don't want any of this to happen, but this is a hypothetical thing that could possibly happen. Okay. This is what I believe that their agenda is. I don't know if this is what if they're going to, let's pray they're not successful, but I believe this is what their agenda is. Once they're able to do all of that, the Constitution, gone. The presidency, gone. Hakeem Joffrey just becomes the leader of the House, which he'll be the leader of the House, right? That's what they want. They'll get rid of the Senate. They'll get rid of the Supreme Court. They'll get rid of the Electoral College, which, includes the Constitution. They'll go ahead and just have House representatives. Then we'll have full-on tyranny in this country. And then they'll reinstate USAID so that way they can get the money flowing back in. All of these investigations with Act Blue and all of these other NGOs and all of these other leftist organizations that have taken advantage of the American people, all of those will get reinstated. So then they will have the money flow again. Because isn't it interesting? Isn't it something that During the time USAID was completely active, the DNC had all of this money. They had millions and millions and millions of dollars. And then they went to go shut down USAID. Chuck Schumer and all the rest of the Democrats were crying, kicking and screaming about it. This is terrible. This is terrible. Why? And I got to thinking, why in the world would they be so concerned about a government organization that has been doing corruption at the fullest? Why would they go out there and stand in front of the building to protest for it? And now the DNC doesn't have any money? Look, it doesn't take much to put 2 and 2 together. It really doesn't. We can see it taking place. It's no coincidence. And then the whole story with Act Blue. Thank goodness for Project Veritas or James O'Keefe. Thank goodness for him, because he exposed the whole Act Blue, where they were getting people that have donated to the DNC, to the Democrat Party, maybe once, twice, maybe even 3 times. But then come to find out they're on record, on paper, for donating over 1,500 times. Some of them up to $250,000. Some of them $150,000 in a period of years. And then they go talk to these people. No, it wasn't me. That's not me. I didn't do it. It wasn't me. So money was coming from somewhere, and it was getting funneled right back to the DNC. And now the DNC is broke. And now they're broke. And I'm kind of, you know what? Look, I'm kind of happy that they're broke, just to be honest with you. Because the DNC, the Democrat Party, you can include the socialists with this, they have been the biggest problem in the United States of America. The biggest problem here in America. The Democrat Party. I asked this question earlier. What do they bring to the table? My experience with the Democrat Party is that they've only brought misery. They've only brought stuff that's been harmful to the American people. That's the only thing that they brought. Remember, open borders. That's what they brought. Trafficking of children. That's what they brought. The narco-terrorists bringing narcotics into the country. That's what they brought. Poverty. They put black people in the ghettos and the projects. That's what they brought. They're not bringing anything positive. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Listen to this ex-Democrat talk about how the Democrat Party is basically collapsing, and people are seeing it. And I want them to continue. Please, Democrat Party, continue doing exactly what you're doing. Focus on just getting Trump. Don't focus on anything else. Y'all been doing really good about focusing on getting Trump. So I encourage all of you, Democrats, don't ever change. Continue to focus on getting Trump. You have to have a target, right? Y'all need something to see. Y'all need something to see, someone to go get. Right? Y'all see, it's like, oh, there's somebody we got to go get. And for them, it is President Donald J. Trump. I mean, for the most part, they can't even help themselves.
Is it the donors that are driving this craziness?
It's a combination of the donors and the consultants. I would see the craziest things behind the scenes. It is so much worse than you can ever imagine. The public doesn't know this, but George Soros' organization actually put out a directive around 2020, 2021 that said that they were only going to donate to organizations led by non-white leaders for the next 5 years. Wow. I personally saw people that didn't get jobs because of this policy. Organizations were terrified of losing their funding. It completely changed the leadership class in the Democratic Party.
It surely did. Because I think we all can agree that George Soros is one of the main ones that wants to push this whole socialist agenda. And it would not surprise me that him, his family, his son, I think his son taking over the family business, correct? Would not surprise me if you see a lot of their tentacles in what's happening in this. Now, this is one of the main things about this whole socialist agenda, and part of the reason why the Democrat Party is collapsing. This right here. This video has gone viral and then some. Now, this is a really long clip, so I cut it down just to this part, to this section that I want to emphasize on. And I've mentioned this before, and they've even mentioned it. And part of the reason why this is making headway with the socialists taking over the Democrat Party is that they look at the Republican Party and they see that the Republican Party has the MAGA Republicans. And the Republican Party, as of today, because of AKA President Donald J. Trump, it is the MAGA Republican Party. Now, we have some rhinocrats. We have rhinocrats that are still there, John Thune and a few other ones, right? We still got them there. But for the most part, and I've mentioned this so many times, just about every day, MAGA Republicans want everybody to be successful. They have a different agenda. Now, I'm just going to play this part about how she's actually admitting that they're taking over the Democrat Party. Because the Democrat Party, they don't have any funds. So I guess if they want the funds, they're going to have to get them from somewhere. If only socialists like George Soros is pouring money into them, that's the way they're going to go. That's the way they're going to go.
So Jamie Harrison, who was the DNC chair, after you guys had such a big night in New York City and knocking off some of those incumbents and having success with your candidates in the congressional primaries, he said, if you hate the Democratic Party, then don't run for our nomination. Don't use our resources. Don't rely on our volunteers. Don't use our infrastructure. Focus on building the party you actually support. Other Democrats out there saying this is a separate party, the DSA. You don't belong within the party. How do you respond to his statements there?
Okay, you see, that's the question right there. You don't belong in the Democrat Party. You don't belong. It's like one particular demon's telling other demons that they can't go into this hellhole. Right? Because they control these particular demons, demonic people, control this segment. But listen to what she says. This just confirmed everything. Now, look, this is the first time I've heard this. And yesterday here on LFA TV, someone said it in the comment. I don't know if the person is watching today, but someone in the comment said yesterday, Will, I think this video is AI. I assure you, it is not AI. I assure you.
Yeah, I mean, the two parties have over years and decades created a system where ballot line access is extremely difficult for third parties. I also have been told a lot of times by Democrats, don't vote third party, it's wasting your vote. Mm-hmm. So we run on the Democratic ballot line where it makes sense. We run independents sometimes where that is a viable possibility, but it's a ballot line. And what matters is what the voters think. And the voters are overwhelmingly choosing our candidates.
There it is. And there it is. And there it is. Instead of us running as a third party, we'll just run as the Democrat Party and we'll just take over. We'll just take over. Now, I'm adding some to it, but y'all heard it too. I mean, that's what she's saying. We're going to take over the Democrat Party. I remember after 2020, there was a small movement where they were trying to create a third party because of what happened with the rhinocrats, the Republicans, Mike Pence, et cetera, and there was discussion about starting another one, and it even got to President Trump about starting a third party and he being the leader of the third party, and President Trump said, no, not going to do that. Rightfully so, and I'm glad he didn't do that, because we just need to take the Republican Party and take it back to its original roots. And that's what President Trump has done. For the most part, like I said, there's still some rhinocrats in there. But for the most part, President Trump has taken the Republican Party and brought it back to its original roots. And a lot of people don't understand it. When I say that, it goes over so many people's heads. So many. A lot of people, some people do get it. But when I say President Trump took the Republican Party back to its original roots, it goes right over people's heads, and they go, I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean going back to original roots? Let me give you an example here. Before President Trump, I think we will all agree that the Republican Party was weak in the knee, no backbone, spineless, and they bend over for the Democrats. And anything that the Democrats want, they got it from the Rhinocrats. Would you agree to that? The establishment working with the establishment. Oh, yeah, you want this? We'll give it to you. Making all these backdoor deals. Oh, you want this? I want that. You want this? I want that. President Trump came in and said, nope, we are going to do America first. We are going to put the American people first. President Trump said we're going to give the country back to the American people. I'll never forget it when he made that statement in the 2017 election and he was doing inauguration. He says, my name was on the ticket. I'm going to paraphrase it here. My name was on the ticket and I won the election. And he says, I give the country, the nation back to you, the people. The Democrats and the establishment, every last one of them were angry with him. So mad. How dare he give the people this country? In their minds, they're like, we own this country. We run this country. And President Trump said, I give it back to you. And see, that's what the Republican Party is about, that we, the people, we get to control our country. We get to own our country. And we have elected officials that's supposed to work for us. These are not kings and queens up on Capitol Hill. These are servants. That's the part I really don't understand. But these socialists are coming in and the socialists are kind of using the same verbiage, talking about it's supposed to be about the people. But they want to control how we live. They want to control every aspect of our lives. Every aspect of our lives. So there's multiple Democrats that's been asked a question about this socialist that went on Fox News and just laid it all out. Want to get rid of the Senate, mentioned the Supreme Court, want to get rid of the presidency, want to get rid of the Constitution, they want to get rid of all that, close all the prisons. Hardcore criminals, just let them out onto the streets of America. It's fine. This is what they're pushing for. This is what they're aiming for. 100%. So, of course, and there's a couple of videos where these Democrats are getting asked the question about what she said when she went on with Shannon Bream. And I want to share them with you. Now, for sakes of having to play that video over and over, I cut out the section where Shannon Bream was asking you, it'll come into it, then it'll cut away, and then it'll come back to her. Okay, just for the sake of time here, and not to keep repeating the same videos for you.
The co-chair of the Democratic Socialists of America was asked about some tenets of their platform yesterday. Let's play that soundbite and listen to what she said.
Okay, so we're going to put up on the screen a few of the things that are part of your platform, and I want to ask you, just give me sort of a true or false on these.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be short.
Do you think these goals pull from the focus that you are trying to put out there, your message on affordability?
So I'm going to say this to you point blank. I hate labels. I don't happen to agree with a lot of what was just said, but I...
Wait a minute. Let me stop it really quick. She says, I don't happen to agree with a lot. She didn't say, I don't agree with anything she said. She just said, I just so happen not to agree with a lot. So my question, if I was him hearing this, well, tell us what part you do agree with. Tell us what part you agree with this socialist. What part? We want to know. And see, most people don't even catch that. She agrees with some of it. She just says not a lot of it.
I also don't think that a lot of my Democratic colleagues that I work with agree with those at all either.
Oh. Her Democrat colleagues, they don't agree with it at all either. Really? They don't agree with it at all either. Y'all seeing this? Isn't it remarkable? I have another example for you. Now, again, I cut out the section in the middle so you don't have to see that video. I just want you to see what the Democrats are saying about this.
There's one DSA leader, though, who was asked what the party's platform supported and what it does not. And some Democrats are nervous about what she said. Listen.
Are they now?
Replace the presidency and Supreme Court as we now know them.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your reaction to that? Is that a platform that most Democrats would support going into the midterms, or even, as she's distinguishing, a long-term solution?
Now, let me pause it. For this dude, look like he's from the 1930s, 1940s Germany, start talking. David Hogg. What do you think he's going to say? David Hogg was a former. He's no longer the co-chair of the DNC. I'm kind of curious. I thought about looking it up. I wonder if he's the only person who ever served as the chair of the DNC for the shortest time in the existence of the Democrat Party. Because he's no longer there. He is a straight up communist. Straight up. So the fact that the DNC is having these major issues, he doesn't have a problem with it because they essentially fired him. Why? Because he said that all these old people that are in the Democrat Party, they need to go away. We need to get people there that are more radical. We need to get people there that are willing to do the heavy lifting. And I'm paraphrasing what he was saying, because I don't remember exactly how he said it. But we need to get people that's going to do the extreme. So let's hear what he had to say about this member of the DSA.
I think this is why we have primaries to begin with. It's to let people figure out what type of Democrat do they actually want to represent them. Sometimes in a place like New York City, it may be somebody who is more closely aligned with DSA, and in other places it may be somebody who's more aligned with a more moderate position. We are a diverse country. We are also a diverse party.
We are a diverse country, and we are also a diverse party, meaning that he is welcoming the whole communist socialist agenda. He's not hiding it. Why? You know what? Thank you for not hiding it. Be honest. Be honest. See, the reason why a lot of them are not honest about it, because they know that the American people, when they get wind of these Democrats pushing the socialist agenda onto the United States of America, people are not going to support it. That's why you have these Democrats, these predominant Democrats right now talking about, no, we don't agree with that. No, we don't agree with that. What was it? Was it out of Arizona or New Mexico? I can't remember which one, so please forgive me. There was a governor there, and the governor there said that she was going to temporarily suspend the Constitution because of the Second Amendment. She says just temporarily. It's just a temporary thing. It's not indefinitely. It's just a temporary, just so we can get some things under control. She literally said it, that we're going to suspend the Constitution. These other Democrats around the country, all of them started hitting back, said, no, you can't do that. Not yet. Not yet. This is not the time. This is what they all want to do. She jumped the gun. She let the cat out the bag what they want to do. This is the socialist communist agenda. But I was like, wow, look at this. They're all pushing back. So now you can't do that, suspending. And she said we're only suspending the section of the Constitution, the Second Amendment part. If she was able to get away with that, then it would have spread around the country. Well, we're just going to suspend it here, suspend it there, suspend this part of the Constitution for this state, suspend this part for this state, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Essentially saying the Constitution is no longer valid. Essentially saying. But with all this happening, you hear the constantly saying that President Trump's poll, his approval ratings in the dirt. They never asked me to vote on President Trump. Have they ever asked you that question? Just out of curiosity. Have you ever been polled? How do you like President Trump right now? I've never been polled. Never. And I see these polls all the time, and these polls come out and they tell everybody what you should believe the American people want. I'm like, really? But your poll is not accurate. It's not an accurate representation of what I believe. Because I support President Trump. President Trump, he doesn't walk on water. How many times do we have to say that to these people? Some people need to hear that all the time. President Trump does not walk on water. There's only been one man that walked this earth that's been perfect. And President Trump has acknowledged this one man that has been perfect on the planet. President Trump knows. He's even admitted that he's a sinful man. President Trump has even admitted that. He doesn't walk on water. But liberals have a hard time hearing that because apparently they want Trump walking on water. Can't make it up. And the reason why I bring that up, because they're talking about the poll numbers. President Trump poll numbers are in the dirt. Well, what are the poll numbers like for the Democrat Party? What are their poll numbers like? Oh, look at this. What does CNN have to say about the Democrat Party? And they keep embracing the socialism, and the numbers are just going to get lower. I mean, look at those numbers.
Congress. In late February, at the beginning of the war, it was minus 41 points, minus 39, minus 39. And so you're just looking at these numbers right here, and you go to yourself, no wonder what's going on at this point, that Democrats simply put cannot take the ball and run with it and actually in the polls be trusted more than run, because the Democrats in Congress simply put are not well liked. In fact, these are the three lowest on record in terms of percentage points for the approval for Democrats in Congress. So it all puts together a picture. Donald Trump and Republicans may not be liked, but Democrats in Congress are really hated.
A lot of this is...
So they're collapsing. And of course, with the collapse of the Democrat Party, I want them to take the socialists with them. I mean, by all means, don't leave them behind. Don't leave them. I mean, take them with you. You know, when you crawl back into the pits of hell, don't leave them here. They need to go back home too. Okay, we don't want them here either. But this is absolutely great. Great news to see this happening. Great news. Here's another one talking about the Democrats versus the GOP.
You know what? I would argue the biggest red flag that Democrats have, the biggest red flag.
See, he want to say Republicans because, see, that's when they're happy. The biggest red flag for Republicans, Democrats. That's what he was actually referring to. Democrats.
You know what? I would argue the biggest red flag that Democrats have, the biggest red flag. Look at this. It's apathy, not believing that Democrats can change anything. Because the impacts of Democratic policies on your cost of living, only 41% say help, hurt, or wouldn't change it. The clear majority, nearly 3 in 5, 59%. So, look, these are all the red flags. If, in fact, Democrats can't take back control of either the House and or the Senate, and if Trump can stop them, this is what's going on.
He got it. He has help on the board. help us. No one likes the Democrats. No one likes them. The only people that, even the people that support the Democrats don't like the Democrats. It's like demons liking demons. They don't like each other. But in most cases, they really don't like Trump. That's the only reason why they go with the Democrats. But the Democrats are doing it to themselves. And like I said, I encourage them to do it. And as I mentioned earlier, what purpose do they serve? They're not going to help anybody. They're in it for themselves. And they've demonstrated that over and over and over again. And over again. We'll be right back.
Remember when you were younger and you used to hear stories, whether it be in Greek mythology or whatever, about the fountain of youth, people constantly looking for something out there that would help them live forever or live longer? Well, kind of got something like that with Fatty 15, and it's not mythological. No, Fatty 15, this is an empty jar right here, but that's your size that you get. That's a 1 month supply. You get a 3 month supply on this deal. Fatty 15 contains something called C15. If you don't know what that is, it's an essential fatty acid. that is necessary for your body's cellular generation, meaning that if you have any damaged cells, it will repair them. It'll also change the way your cells age and you will live longer. C15 does exactly that. Again, if you don't know what C15 is, definitely do some research, but it's Fatty 15. And in each and every one of these capsules that you get in Fatty 15, you're going to elevate your cells, you are going to repair your cells, and you're going to live longer. That's what it does. It slows down your aging process for healthier hair, healthier skin, balanced metabolism, deeper sleep, and 3 times more cellular benefits than omega-3 fish oils. Fatty15.com/LFA, promo code LFA. Save 15% now. That's fatty15.com/LFA, promo code LFA. Thank you very much. Back to the program.
We need to abolish things like the filibuster and the Electoral College.
ICE cannot be reformed. ICE cannot be retrained. ICE has to be abolished.
You said the Israeli government is evil. Do you think they're just as evil as Hamas?
Yes, killing tens of thousands of people makes you pretty damn evil.
Do you believe Israel has a right to exist?
The question of Israel's existence is not a question. I'm not going to play this gotcha game about whether or not it has a right to exist.
You said when they go low, we choke them out.
I mean, their choice to go low. Don't go low. I'm just saying.
Another socialist that the Democrats are trying to slide in there, slither in there. This dude is not for America. He's in it for his own self-interest. And be honest with you, I don't know how. Well, I'm taking it back. I do know how we got here. Because the Democrats, again, they have no platform. They have nothing to run on. So they're grasping for something. Let's try something new. Let's try something different. Socialism is not different. It's the same playbook that they've done throughout history, but the Democrats are thinking that they can do it better. And because they were doing the establishment thing for the longest, and they're saying, well, President Trump changed the Republican Party, the establishment Republicans are pretty much null and void. They're getting phased out for the most part, because now we have MAGA Republican Party that's actually putting America first. Okay? Yeah, we do ally with Israel, but America comes first, and then we help Israel. No issues there. But America first, the Democrats are not about that. The Democrats want to see America collapse. Well, I want you to hear what John Fetterman. The Democrats are so angry with John Fetterman. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's just talking about the dude I just showed you. The dude that I just showed you, if we're talking about, if it's the same guy, forgive me if it's not. But he was talking about John Fetterman, and he called John Fetterman the Sylvester of the Senator Sylvester or something like that. Look, it's funny, but John Fetterman hits back, and I want y'all to hear this.
I mean, I never worked out in male modeling, we could call me Senator Shrek, whatever. But this guy.
Sorry. Yeah. Senator Shrek. Oh, it's pretty funny. He was even laughing with himself. I mean, look, I'm liking John Fetterman a lot these days. A lot better than before, of course.
Is really the Pontiac Plattner. And now he's really running to be the head of our emerging pro-Hamas wing here in the party. So for me, politically, some of the things that he said or done are unacceptable to me. I'm not really sure what I've really done or voted for that has offended the little guy so much, but overall, right now, this is a serious game that we're engaging in, and these same people like Bernie Sanders and other people created the Plattner disaster. He was asked just this Sunday. He has no regrets. Yeah, I have no regrets supporting an accused rapist. I have no regrets supporting a guy with a Nazi tattoo on his chest and a guy that roughed up his ex-girlfriends. There's a level of arrogance, and they feel like they have some weird mandate. Stop this now, call it out. And that's what I'm willing to do as a committed Democrat. So I think that's pretty reasonable. And I think it's more necessary if more people's willing to do that.
Good on John Fetterman. Good on him for calling these socialists out. Good on him. I had no idea when John Fetterman was running that he would actually be the one with the common sense here. Out of all of them, he was the last one. I just knew he was going to join and be part of the squad. Because all the stuff that was coming out of him about the narcotics and everything, and I just knew he was going to become part of the squad, and he was going to run out there with Fire Marshal Bowman, and they were going to be in locked arms and just, doing their thing. Had no idea that he would speak common sense, talking about the Democrat Party. This is good. This is wonderful news. And the other one was James Carville. James Carville from Arkansas, of all places. He's another one. He's the one that he loves his TDS. James Carville loves his TDS. And he can't stand what's happening. Do y'all ever watch The Five? I don't watch cable news or anything like that any longer, because social media just pretty much has all the information that you want to get, then some. Not all of it's factual, okay? I'll be honest with you. But I just show you news clips and do commentary and show you how the Democrats are reacting to them losing their party. This guy, Harold, on The Five, listen to what he says about the Democrat socialists, what they're doing to his party. I'm telling you right now, they're not happy. Now, when the MAGA Republican Party came to be, they had a couple of rhinos out there crying and kicking and screaming about it. But they soon got the picture that we just want America to be great. They soon got the picture. And most people in this country want America to be great, even these radical leftists. Because that means that they can buy things. That means they can put food on the table. It means they can keep the lights on. It means they can have a good life and do whatever it is that they want to do if America is great. And they know this, but they can't stand the phrase because President Trump was saying it. Bill Clinton used to say it too. But anyways, listen to this.
No prisons, no borders, supporting Hamas. I don't understand how that helps us get to where we are. Watch the young mayor to give a speech there about how he wants to arrest Netanyahu. I don't understand how that lowers prices. I don't understand how that addresses. I listened to cab drivers here in this city who said they liked Mandami because he's about getting their rent lower. I don't hear any of them saying I like them because they want to abolish prisons, they want to abolish the borders, they want to defund the police. We think Hamas is absolutely right, and we should be supporting them. And we should be arresting Netanyahu. That's an agenda of a group of people who are radical, who I believe have no place in my party. The party I grew up in, the party I was raised in. My dad was a member of Congress. My uncles and aunts served in elected office back in Tennessee throughout my entire life. I was blessed to be there 10 years. I don't know any of them. There are Democrats who I disagree with on spending policy and a few things, tax policy every once in a while. I was a blue dog. But there was never anybody who said abolish the police, abolish the borders, abolish law enforcement, support Hamas. We Democrats have to step away from these people. If they want to continue to align themselves with us rhetorically, so be it. I say to Democrats, and I said it on Monday, if we lose in November in a tight race, and independents and some independent-minded Republicans say I couldn't support them because they wanted to abolish the police, they wanted to abolish borders, not that they were going to make things more affordable or not because we think they have a better plan to beat Iran, we will have only ourselves to blame if that happens.
I'll continue. Please, Democrat Party, don't change. Allow the Slytherin to come in and do what they need to do to your party. Continue. See, they just knew because throughout the history of the political spectrum, typically what happens, and this is my understanding, I just learned this a few years ago because I didn't pay attention to politics and all this until a few years ago, to be honest with you. But to my understanding, what happens is when the president wins, if it's a particular party, in this case, President Trump being a Republican, typically what happens is the House and the Senate would, during the midterm, would flip to the other party. That's the way it's always been. Y'all seen this too, right? I'm like, okay. When I was younger, it kind of makes sense. I didn't know. But this midterm election needs to remain Republican. It needs to remain Republican. In actuality, it needs to gain more seats in both the House and the Senate. It needs to gain enough seats in both the House and the Senate so anytime they bring up a bill, the Democrats can kick and scream about it, but the Democrats would have to get 5 to 10 Republicans to flip to their side just to stop the bill. That's the way it needs to be. The Democrat Party needs to be phased out. I showed you the clip where CNN was basically saying that the people are looking at the Democrat Party, and I'm like, what are they doing? They're not here to help us. They're not. The Democrat Party won't even stand for the American people. They did it to themselves. The one time they should have got up out of their seats when President Trump gave them the opportunity to stand for the American people, they refused to do it. They refused to do it. The American people, to the Democrat Party, you're irrelevant unless you can do their bidding. But other than that, you just vote for them and shut up. Give us what we want. All of them. Pretty disgusting. Did you know Fauci's going to be up on Capitol Hill tomorrow? What's going to happen there? It's going to be really interesting. Let's talk a little bit about that when we come back.
It's finally here, our second annual mega sale. This sale only comes around once a year, so take advantage of the best offers ever while you can. For example, save 50% on our Giza Dream bed sheets, as low as $29.98. And for the first time ever on TV, My Pillow mattresses and My Pillow mattress toppers, as low as $99.98. And you save 50% on our Lux Pure 6-piece towel sets, regular $69.98. Now only $39.98. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, regular $49.98, on sale for $17.98. Wait on it, mega sale, only $14.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our second annual mega sale. But wait, there's more. To make the mega sale even more special, when you order right now, your order's going to ship absolutely free.
Okay, hold on one second. Someone just told me, because I'm live on TikTok as well, when I play the videos, they're not hearing the audio. So let me fix that really quick. I think I know how to, I'm pretty sure I can fix it pretty quick here. But they just told me, and someone, thank you for telling me. Thank you for telling me. We're live on TikTok as well, everybody. We're live on TikTok. So give me 1 second, and I'm going to see if I can fix it, because I want y'all to hear this. All this time I didn't know, but one person was telling me, and that will make a difference, because we need to make sure that everybody can hear it. Okay, I think I got it here. All right. I'm gonna have to play it, and then it'll let me know where it's coming from. All right. Here, hold on.
What we know that
they changed the classification.
What I would say,
this is
not. I mean,
we
do have the names came down. They claimed it was an accident, that's some kind of glitch. But then they did not restore them to where they should be. They put them in a different place.
Right. So I'd like to see.
That's not a tech issue.
I'd like to see that.
Choice.
I'd like to see that restored. I think we need to have transparency around what's going on. I think one situation that, frankly, where we saw the government was certainly obfuscating, didn't have any transparency, was Anthony Fauci, who we're getting his diaries today, where he was purposely obfuscating about
Anthony Fauci.
That's actually something where we know he was purposely obfuscating.
Lydia, we're sitting here talking about Americans who were killed in theater, okay, as a result of a war. We are not going to pivot to Anthony Fauci's diaries. That's a different conversation.
You're saying that this is a purposeful obfuscation. We don't know that it was a purposeful obfuscation.
That we learned this weekend,
it was.
Isaiah, the other thing we learned this weekend is that we know that.
Okay, so For those of you that couldn't hear that, so what was just talked about, they were talking about a different subject, and the young lady right there, not Abby, but the other one, brought up Fauci, and they all came unglued. They all came unglued as soon as they heard Fauci's name. They all came unglued. Like, don't bring Fauci into this, don't bring him up. But apparently he's going to be up on Capitol Hill tomorrow. Fauci's going to be up on Capitol Hill, and they're going to have these conversations about what took place when he was telling people how to live. And of course, he received a pardon. He received a pardon. And I'm going to apologize for everyone that's watching on TikTok. I'm going to fix the audio so the next time I come live, the audio will be working when I play them. I do apologize for that. I'm not going to have time to do it because my show is almost over with here. So I do apologize for that. But Fauci, he loves the camera. And have y'all noticed that? I mean, I haven't even, where's he at right now? I'm like, you hadn't heard anything from Fauci, right? Well, I want y'all to look at this. Y'all know who this lady is here? Y'all know who this lady is? She's like starstruck. She's a Hollywood nut job. And she's starstruck over Fauci. I've seen her a couple of times. I don't watch her movies and stuff. Maybe some of y'all know who she is. You know, I don't really keep up with the Hollywood Nuttywood stars like that. But she's starstruck. And he has to sit down with her, and she's just like googly-eyed over him. Like he's a hero.
So rad that we have maybe the coolest man on the planet right now. Wow, and there's the room. This is intense. Does anybody else have
Hello. Hi there.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, this is such a thrill. How are you?
Pretty good, I guess. You know, it's a little bit like running on fumes for a couple of months, but
I would imagine this is a thrill for me because you truly have emerged as a personal hero for me, and you've been this true north, I think, for a lot of people, and it's so deeply, deeply appreciated. So just to have this little corner of your time for us is such a joy. So thank you.
It's my.
She's just so googly-eyed over him. So googly-eyed. And he's going to be up on Capitol Hill. And to my understanding, he will not be able to plead the fifth. To my understanding, he would not be able to plead the fifth. He's going to have, when they ask a question, he can't say, I plead the fifth, because it may incriminate me, because he has been handed a pardon. So he has to spill the beans. To my understanding, that's how it works. To my understanding, that's how it works, but we shall see. Right? We shall see. That's just how, I mean, I don't know. But he should have to, he should still have to tell the truth. Do y'all think Fauci's going to tell the truth up on Capitol Hill? Personally, I don't think he's going to. Because if he lies, will he get in trouble? Because he has the pardon? How does that work? How does that work? If Fauci lies, because he has his pardon, does that mean he still gets off scot-free? So they can ask him questions and he can just say anything? You can bring up another subject, start talking about something else. I can imagine that's what he'll do. Or he'll just repeat the same thing over and over and over again. Just keep repeating the same thing. And he's like, I have a pardon. I can give you whatever answer I want to give you. Fauci's not a nice person. And some people that's like Fauci, they were like, in Fauci we trust. I mean, they believe everything he put out there. Everything he put out there. I think I got time to squeeze in maybe one or two more, maybe. But I want to share this one with you. And this next one I want to share with you is about how the Democrats truly feel about President Trump, and how we've all said this for years, that President Trump, he actually exposed what was happening with the federal government. Many of us just kept thinking, we were under this impression that the federal government, they're doing the right thing, they're doing positive things, they're doing stuff for the American people. We all thought that. We were all thinking that. I did, at least. I'll admit it to you that, these people, these politicians of Capitol Hill, oh, wow, they're senators and House representatives and president. They're going to always do the right thing by the people. I was naive as all get out. They're going to do the right thing for the American people. These are the honest people, like, kind of like we did with the media, news stations. We were always, at least, look, I'm speaking for myself here. I was always under the impression that they're not going to lie to us. They're going to tell us the truth. And then here comes President Trump. But at this point, we at that age, I already knew. But President Trump, at that point, everybody who wasn't paying attention, their eyes got open. And I'll be honest with you, my eyes got open to a lot more. Because when President Trump came in 2016, I was already up on the media lying to us, because I started somewhat paying attention, but I wasn't like getting involved in it at all. But I was looking at it and I said, well, that's not true. Then it became that if a politician's mouth is moving, they're lying, right? And then here comes President Trump after all of that. President Trump shows up and then bam, yep, sure enough, they're all lying. And they're working with each other to do it. And even in the comedian world that say all of these nasty, terrible jokes, some of them are funny, a lot of them are not. This nasty woman here complaining about President Trump. And she says, well, President Trump just showed the Democrats their butts, their backsides, right? Listen to this.
Trump is a piece of but Trump did come in here and show us that our ain't as tight as we thought.
Yeah.
He literally is he's telling everybody they're not going to do anything. They're just going to bitch. That's all they're going to do. And the Democrats are showing up to a fight with a piece of cake. And the old Democrats should know to just go away. Just sit down and let the more progressive and aggressive Democrats step up and fight this fight the way that they're fighting it. Gavin.
And see, that's the main reason why I wanted to play this. Because just like David Hogg is saying, all of the old Democrats, they need to just go away and bring in all these progressive, socialist, radical, demonic Democrats to take over. And then she brings up Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom, in my opinion, straight up socialist.
Newsom, to me, was great the way he was responding. Everybody should respond like that. We're scared of someone, and I don't know why we're scared of them. We're looking at the most obvious problem, and it's showing that us as a community have been beaten to submission and forgotten that we are the people. We're the people. We're the people. Are we going to watch this crumble down? Or are we going to do something?
Are we going to watch it crumble down? Or are we going to do something? Who's trying to initiate the crumble? And see, the way I see this, she's talking about watching it crumble down, meaning that the Democrat Party is crumbling. It's not the United States of America, because President Trump is keeping the United States of America on the up and up. Now, gas prices are high, and I don't like that. But that's not President Trump's fault. A lot of people go, yes, it is, because of what the wars in Iran, what's happening in Iran. President Trump didn't start that. And we don't get our oil from Iran. We don't get our oil from the Strait of Hormuz. We don't. So why is that so high? And President Trump said he's going to look into these companies that are jacking the prices up, because there's no excuse for it. We're not the ones hurting for the oil. And the oil companies go, well, supply and demand. Because all these other nations, they can't get it right now, and they're willing to spend more to get it. So that means you need to spend more to get it too. Supply and demand. But technically they can get it, but Iran is trying to prevent people from getting it, except for here lately. The ships have been getting through, so why are the gas prices still high? They come down just a little bit, but they're still high, in my opinion. Because they're doing it to try to hurt us. And let me bring this to your attention too. And I think I've mentioned it multiple times. There's been so much. The way I see this is that the Democrats want Iran to continue well into the midterms, well into November. So they can turn around and say, hey, if you want this to end, you're going to have to vote us in. This is what they're going to say. And so they want it to continue. They want the chaos to continue because chaos on the planet, they believe it works to their favor. In some cases, it really does. Just like the summer of love, they believe all that worked to their favor. Any activity like January 6th, oh my goodness, they love that day like Groundhog Day because in their mind, it worked to their favor. It gave them the opportunity to go get Trump and his supporters. See, you understand what I'm saying? So anything that President Trump does that is positive, the Democrats want to stop it. They want to crush it because it works into the favor of the American people and not their favor. So if they can have any chaos happening, it works into their favor. And that's what they want. That's what they want. All right, everybody, that is it for me. Thank you so much for tuning in. For those of you that are watching live on LFA TV, we had some technical issues today, but we will work them out. We'll most definitely get them out, get them worked out. We'll be back live tomorrow with the all day, so you can see everyone on the network all day right here on LFA. So be sure, if you haven't already, no matter how you are watching this, hit the thumbs up for me. Hit the thumbs up. Please bless us by hitting the thumbs up. It will really make a difference. It will really make a difference, and I would highly and greatly appreciate it. I would greatly appreciate it. With that said, that's it for me. I'm signing off. I will see you tomorrow right here in the Culture Wars. God bless everybody.